Imagine a quiet bus stop where a disabled girl faces cruel taunts and a vicious act of bullying. Her world turned upside down in an instant. But what happens when the roar of 99 motorcycles shakes the ground, bringing unexpected justice and a heart-pounding twist that will leave you speechless? Dive into this gripping tale of courage, revenge, and redemption, and subscribe to stay updated on more unforgettable stories that ignite the soul! The morning air was crisp, carrying the faint scent of diesel and damp pavement as 15-year-old Lily Carter maneuvered her wheelchair toward the bus stop on Elm Street, her small hometown's only link to the outside world. Her hands, calloused from years of navigating the chair's wheels, gripped the rims tightly, her hazel eyes scanning the familiar faces of the morning crowd, most of them indifferent, a few offering fleeting smiles. Lily was used to the stares, the whispers, the occasional pitying glance, but she'd built a fortress around her heart. Her disability from a childhood accident no longer defining her but sharpening her resolve to prove she was more than her chair. Today, though, something felt off. A group of 5 teens, led by Jake J. Dog Malone, the town's resident troublemaker with a sneer as sharp as his switchblade, lounged against the bus stop sign, their laughter slicing through the morning quiet. Jake's eyes locked onto Lily, and her stomach twisted. She'd dealt with his taunts before, his cruel nicknames like Wheels and Cripple thrown with venom, but she'd always managed to shrug them off, her quick wit her shield. Today, though, Jake's grin was darker, his posture predatory as he sauntered toward her, his cronies trailing like hyenas. "Move, Cripple," he spat, kicking a pebble that skittered across her path. Lily's jaw tightened, but she kept her gaze forward, refusing to give him the satisfaction of a reaction. The bus was late as usual, and the crowd thinned as some kids wandered off, leaving Lily exposed. Jake stepped closer, his shadow looming over her chair. "What's the matter, Wheels? Too slow to roll away?" His friend snickered, and before Lily could retort, Jake's foot shot out, hooking the wheel of her chair. In one cruel motion he yanked, tipping her forward. The world tilted, and Lily crashed to the pavement, her palms scraping raw as her chair clattered beside her. Pain shot through her wrists, but the humiliation burned hotter. The other kids froze, some gasping, others turning away, too scared or indifferent to intervene. Jake laughed, high-fiving his crew, but his triumph was cut short by a low, distant rumble that grew into a deafening roar. The ground vibrated, and heads turned as 99 motorcycles roared into view, a tidal wave of chrome and leather flooding the street. The bikers, a mix of grizzled veterans and younger riders, wore patches proclaiming Iron Guardians, a local motorcycle club rumored to be both protectors and outlaws. Their leader, a towering man with a salt and pepper beard named Bear, dismounted first, his steel-toed boots thudding against the asphalt. His eyes, sharp as a hawk's, zeroed in on Jake, who'd gone pale, his bravado evaporating. "Who did this?" Bear's voice was a growl, and the crowd parted, revealing Lily struggling to right herself. Bear knelt beside her, his callosed hands gentle as he helped her back into her chair, his face softening with a kindness that belied his rough exterior. "You okay, kid?" he asked, and Lily, still shaken, nodded, her throat tight. Bear stood, turning to Jake, whose friends had already started to slink away. "You think it's funny to pick on someone who can't fight back?" Bear's voice was low, dangerous, and the bikers formed a semicircle, their presence a wall of intimidation. Jake stammered, but no words came. The truth was, the Iron Guardians weren't just random do-gooders. Unbeknownst to Lily, her older brother, Tommy, had been a prospect in the club before he died in a car accident 2 years earlier, the same accident that had left Lily paralyzed. Tommy had been Bear's protégé, a kid with a heart of gold who'd talked endlessly about his little sister's strength. When Bear got word from a local shopkeeper, a friend of the club, about a disabled girl being harassed at the bus stop, he'd put 2 and 2 together. This wasn't just about justice, it was personal. The bikers didn't touch Jake, but their presence was punishment enough. Bear leaned close, his voice a whisper that carried more weight than a shout. "You ever touch her again, you won't just answer to me. You'll answer to every brother in this club." Jake nodded frantically, tears welling in his eyes, and the crowd watched in stunned silence as the bikers revved their engines, a symphony of power, and escorted Lily to the bus, ensuring she boarded safely. But the story didn't end there. Word of the incident spread like wildfire, and by noon the town was buzzing. Jake's reputation crumbled, his parents called to the school, where he faced suspension. Lily, though, wasn't celebrating. At home that evening, she sat by her window, replaying the day, her heart heavy. She didn't want to be the girl who needed saving, but the biker's intervention had stirred something in her, a mix of gratitude and a burning desire to reclaim her power. The next day, she wheeled herself to the Iron Guardians clubhouse, a squat building on the edge of town adorned with murals of roaring bikes. Bear was there, polishing his Harley, and he looked up, surprised but pleased. "Didn't expect to see you here, kid," he said. Lily took a deep breath, her voice steady. "I want to learn to ride." Bear's eyebrows shot up, but a slow grin spread across his face. The club, it turned out, had a program for adaptive riding, and over the next months, they worked with Lily, modifying a trike to suit her needs. She trained tirelessly, her arms growing stronger, her confidence soaring. But the twist came when Jake reappeared, not as a bully, but as a broken kid seeking redemption. He'd been forced into community service, and part of it was volunteering at the community center where Lily now practiced her riding. At first she froze, her old fear resurfacing, but Jake kept his distance, his head low, stacking chairs and sweeping floors. One day he approached her, his voice barely a whisper. "I'm sorry, Lily, I was an idiot." She studied him, seeing not the sneering bully but a kid grappling with shame. She didn't forgive him outright, but she nodded, a small gesture that felt like a victory. Months later, at a town festival, Lily rode her custom trike in a parade alongside the Iron Guardians, the crowd cheering as she revved her engine, her chair a distant memory in that moment of freedom. Jake was there, watching from the sidelines, no longer a threat, but a reminder of how far she'd come. Bear rode beside her, his pride evident, and whispered, "Tommy would have loved this." The roar of the bikes drowned out the past, and Lily smiled, knowing she wasn't just the girl who'd been tripped at the bus stop. She was a force, unstoppable, with 99 brothers at her back and a future wide open. The town never forgot that day, and neither did Lily, who found not just justice but a family forged in chrome and courage. A family that taught her the road was hers to conquer, no matter the obstacles.